What makes you different to all the other guys? What habits do you have in your life where you're different to everyone else? And that's exactly what's going to make you different to other people. How to separate yourself from the average person. We all know the average person. They're all on the same frequency. They all have the same habits. They all speak the exact same way. They all act the exact same way. And this is for most men, and this is for most women. You don't want to be in this bracket. You don't want to be in this field. You know there's something different about the world. You see successful people and how they move. You know there's something totally different with how they move out the world. And what is that? Now, I'm going to say at the start of my journey, I didn't really know what it was. I had to kind of discover it for myself. I had to come up with these traits myself, or find out what these traits were myself. I'm going to try and sum it up all in this video. So you're going to have to still experience certain things as an individual. You're going to have to go through certain things. But this should be a very, very good starting point on how to separate yourself from other people. So first, we need to realize why you're not separate to other people. Most people all think the exact same way. They will look at their bank account, they will look at their current job, they will look at their current environment, and that will represent who they are as an individual. If you ask them who they are, they will put that as the description of who they are. Now, if you've been tuned in spiritually, you know you're a spiritual being in a human body. Your mind can create your reality. Your mind creates your perception of the world. And how you perceive yourself, if you are powerful enough with your frequency, is how other people are going to perceive you right back. Most people don't realize this. Most people don't control their own spiritual powers. They just let the system guide them. They don't tap into themselves, okay? Now, when you learn how to tap into yourself, you learn how to control your own mind, you're more aware of your physical and spiritual habits, you're going to naturally be different to other people, and people are going to pick up on this, okay? And when people start picking up on this, they're going to have two types of reactions. They're going to hate on you because you're exposing them for being the normal or average person, or they're going to look up to you and kind of admire you. Now, some people might actually admire you and look up to you, and they may hate on you, and secretly they're admiring you. You know them people who are always watching you, they're always looking at your stuff, but they still hate sometimes, but they're always the first person to view your stuff. They're the type of people I'm talking about, okay? Now, if you find a different way to make money to everyone else, if you put yourself in a higher frequency than everyone else, so the average guy is watching the hub constantly, you're not watching the hub all the time. The average, and I'm saying celibacy is very, very important for women as well. The average person is eating unhealthy. You know how to intermittent fast, and when you eat healthy a lot of the time. The average person is completely out of shape. You go to the gym every single day. The average person wears just lousy clothing and doesn't look after their clothes. You wear clean clothing that suits you. You look after your looks. You learn how to speak properly. You don't make yourself sound nice all of the time, okay? And this is the thing about sounding nice. There's a difference between being nice and being kind. And especially when it comes to men attracting women, women aren't going to like nice guys because that's more so of a feminine trait, as in you don't want to offend anyone. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, so sorry. Like, nah. It's like, yeah, very nice to meet you. Like, you're a kind, direct man. That's how it should be. And if you have a point of view, if you think a certain way about the world, that is how you think, and that is your point of view. People are going to be against your point of view. People aren't going to agree with what you say all the time. You do not turn your beliefs to go and agree with that person says because you don't want to offend them at all. And that's one thing that a lot of run-ins in my life I have is because I am so direct with what it is that I believe in. Because I know that to be the truth in my reality. And not only I know that to be the truth, most of the ideas I learned ain't from the fucking system. So when I was in school and I was listening to all this bullshit that was being told to me, and same with during the pandemic and all this shit, I didn't believe it. I questioned it all. And then when I left school, or when I got my first job, not even when I left school, it was around 5th year when I was about 16, 17, I started learning all this information and knowledge about the world and realised we're lied to about fucking everything. And all these arrogant fucks with their ideas from the system are going around thinking that they know what's the truth about politics and what's going on with this war over here and what's going on with this war over here. If you wouldn't even be discussing that if you were spiritually awake. You wouldn't be concerned about any of this shit with celebrities. You wouldn't be concerned about any of this shit going on in the world because you would know it's all a stage. And you would know it's all set up to distract you from tapping into your spiritual self. And why is that? Because if you can tap into your spiritual self and you can control your own spiritual ability, and you can control your own mind, and you can think for yourself, and you can gain information from meditation, and you can guide yourself, you are powerful. Imagine if everyone done that as one collective consciousness and we stopped relying on this system. Would be incredible, wouldn't it? Doesn't look like it's really happening anytime soon, okay? So that's how you're basically going to differ yourself from most other people. You're going to think for yourself. You're going to guide yourself. Think about it. Most people who are in a job, they don't like their jobs. And I don't want to hear any bullshit. Most people don't like their jobs. Now, if you enjoy your job and it's a high-paying job and you have good time off every year, by all means, stick with a job. Again, there's nothing wrong with working a job, but there's something wrong with if you're on a low frequency and you're being taken advantage of, okay? Which is what most jobs are. Now, if you turn around to the average person and say, right, quit your job, start creating content online, or start an online business where you're going to start making money, learn a valuable skill where you're going to start making money, they will be scared to depend on themselves and their own ability because they've been dependent on the system their whole life. You have to understand, since 3-4 years old, we've been thrown into this system and we've been told what's right and wrong, and they've told us the information that we're taught is true, which most of it's not even true. Most of it's just lied about. How the fuck can we be going to school for 18 years and we're coming out of school after 18 years and people are having mental health issues? People don't even know how to heal their own body. People don't even know how to ground their own energy. So when they get stressed about certain things, they don't know how to bring themselves into the now. What the fuck was that 18 years of education for? What was that for? Because that's not education. The most important education is education of self. Most people have no education of self. And that's why most people talk about others all of the time. They don't talk about themselves. They don't talk about intellectual ideas. People, I hate people who are like this. They're like, you don't need to talk about such deep conversations. You don't need to go so deep all of the time. So what the fuck else are we going to talk about? Shit? NPC ideas all the time? Is that what we're going to be talking about? Because I'm well down for a deep conversation, but most people are just intimidated by that. Most people are scared about things that they don't know. And this is the thing about the system. It controls people through fear. And with what we've seen, with what happened over the last few years, we can see how it directly controls people through fear. And how they're trying to deceive you of your own eyes and tell you what's happening in the world. And when you have so much people believe in one thing, that's going to be what reality is. As in, the word imagination means you have a nation of people with one image in their minds. And this is exactly how the people who control this world work. They're trying to convince the masses of people of a lie. And when you have so many masses of people believing a lie, that's what's going to become your reality, okay? And the actual truth sounds crazy. So when you have only a few number of people who know the truth about what's going on in the world, that's what's going to sound crazy. Do you get me? That's what's going to sound crazy because that's not what we're familiar with. Most people don't know their ideas are true. They're just familiar with their ideas, okay? And the ideas that are true are the ones that sound a bit crazy. So my advice to you is, if you're in the bracket of like an average person, but you know mentally you're not an average person in the world right now, you need to concentrate on yourself. Stop chasing other individuals. Build your own value, concentrate on your own energy, and move very different to how the average person moves in the world. And this is not only going to make you more attractive, it's going to make you more interesting as an individual because you're not like everyone else. I'd say one thing for guys who are struggling even to get women. The main reason you're struggling to get women is you're not... I know this sounds so stupid, but it is what it is, and it's the truth. If the truth hurts, it is what it is. You're not entertaining enough for them. You're boring the fuck out of them. You're just another guy. You're just another guy like every other guy who goes to school or goes to college. You're no different to these people. Why would she talk to you? What makes you different to all the other guys? What habits do you have in your life where you're different to everyone else? And that's exactly what's going to make you different to other people. Not only you thinking differently, not only you speaking differently, not only you moving differently, but your habits have to be different to every people. This system that's set up in the world, you'll see people, they all walk together, they all talk together, they all move in line, they're all miserable, they all complain about the same things, they're all focused on that same football match. Everyone is moving in sync. Everyone are like NPCs. They're all like the same fucking people, just duplicated. And this is what I mean. Most people aren't tapping into themselves to actually step back and know what the fuck's going on in this world. Okay? And when you step back and know what's going on in this world, it's going to be lonely. But it'll be lonely for a short period of time with your self-improvement journey. But you're going to be more at peace. And you're going to have more freedom. And you're going to have more understanding of why you're here on earth. A lot of people, when it comes to death, are scared of death, and they try and make death seem like a really, really negative thing and a really, really bad thing. If you have a look at Africa and you have a look at the tribes, and especially in Asian countries as well, I know they do this in Indonesia, they celebrate the passing of someone else. They celebrate at funerals. You know why? Because your soul is here in your human body. Your soul doesn't die. Your human body dies. Your avatar dies. Your soul is here to experience certain things. And your soul comes with certain powers. And when you can tap into yourself and you can tap into your spiritual self, you're going to unlock your soul's powers here on earth. And they're keeping you away from that. You don't even understand how powerful you are. You don't understand what astral projection is, lucid dreaming, remote viewing, deja vu, all of these different things. When you think of someone, you have telepathic connections. When you think of someone and they just magically ring you, or they just magically text you out of nowhere, you're not going to know about any of this shit. You're just going to brush it off as absolutely nothing because you're not told about this stuff. You're not educated on actual important things in this world, okay? So when you're learning different information to what the rest of the people are learning, that's going to make you different. When that's honestly what it is. Because you have to see people in this way, and it's sad. This is why I kind of make this type of content, is because say someone who doesn't think like that, even if one of these videos or one of my TikTok videos just makes them question for a second, even though they might have a hateful despise against me or something, it just makes them think for a second. Maybe everything everyone was taught at the exact same time in these buildings, growing up, we're all stuffed into these buildings, we're all given the exact same books when it comes to school, and we're taught all these same ideas. What makes these ideas true at the end of the day? We're familiar with them, but what makes them true at the end of the day? And truly, what makes someone different to the majority of people is someone who steps back and thinks differently about the world. When it comes to you getting money, and when it comes to you making a lot of money and you getting rich, working hard is very, very important, but you have to understand that you can be running 5K on a treadmill and you can be running 5K to a destination. You're working the same amount. You're running the same amount, okay? And most people don't work smartly. Many people, as in the average working person, would work harder than a made millionaire, or I wouldn't say billionaire, a made millionaire though. Someone who set up their company and they can just sit back and their company prints and they deal with different things, okay? But the thing is about that millionaire, that billionaire, now they've worked hard, but they've worked smart as well. You need to work smart. And this is the thing with the system that's set up in the world. People are used to getting paid every single hour. As in, when you work your job, you know every single hour you work in that job, you're going to get paid hourly in that job, okay? When it comes to you starting your online business, whatever it is that you want to make money from, you're not guaranteed getting paid by the hour. You don't know when that payment's going to come through. You don't know if it's going to be in 2 weeks. You don't know if it's going to be a month. You don't know if it's going to be 6 months when you start making profit from that business. And the majority of people are programmed in the way thinking that they need to be paid by the hour by someone else in this system. And when it comes to entrepreneurship and just making your own money or attracting your own money in this reality, you have to understand that it's building your own skill sets. It's building your own value as an individual and then being paid for the skill sets and the value you have as an individual. For example, even with trading kind of is in its own lane, and trading is something I do. I have another YouTube channel called Trading with Jono, okay? And I've been doing trading for 4 years and I've been making my own money off trading. But obviously when I got good enough at trading, people wanted to learn off me. Now that was a skill set that I have proof that I've made money from it. I've put time and effort into it and other people want to learn that skill from me. That's just a simple example. So that's it for this video. I hope this video helps you guys just understand a bit differently how you can be different to everyone else in the world. If you're looking to join my groups or add any of my socials, they're down there in the link in the bio, so you can just scroll down. And yeah, I have to be more consistent with the YouTube videos, guys. I can't lie to that. This isn't the first YouTube video on this channel in a while. I've been consistent enough with the shorts as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully this video helped you, because I know a lot of people are struggling. They feel like they just don't fit in with a large majority of people. So hopefully this did resonate with you.